There are new developments tonight in two separate legal battles involving homeless encampments in Minneapolis. In one, the city is asking a judge to toss out a case involving people who used to live at a Minneapolis encampment who are suing because their belongings were destroyed when the city cleared it. And we have an update on talks between the city and a property owner who opened up his parking lot for an encampment on East Lake Street. That is the site where 7 people were shot a week ago today. Lou Raguse has been digging into both cases. Lou?
Julie, the judge in this latest case was hoping city officials and Hamoudi Sabri, the property owner, could come to an agreement together. But in a letter to the court today, city officials say he rejected their offers. Negotiations stalled, and they now want the judge to make his ruling on an injunction to prevent him from forming encampments.
At the vacant lot next to a charter school on 28th Avenue and East Lake Street, owned by developer Hamoudi Sabri, a Minneapolis police officer keeps watch to make sure a homeless encampment does not reestablish there. Last week, the city asked a judge for an injunction to stop Sabri from allowing encampments on his property after 7 people were shot in what police say was a drug deal that escalated to gunfire. Today, it appears Sabri and city officials are no closer to an agreement after having met to discuss his underlying concerns. The city attorney writing, they look forward to receiving a decision from the court. Meantime, at the federal courthouse in St. Paul, Minneapolis city attorneys are asking a judge to rule in their favor in a lawsuit brought last year by former residents of what was known as the Nenocasie encampment.
The current practice of eviction and whack-a-mole in the city of Minneapolis is not working to end homelessness. It's simply moving it around and actually increasing conditions of violence towards our neighbors.
Attorneys for encampment residents say the encampment closures and the ensuing disposal of tents and belongings amounts to a violation of their constitutional rights.
The mayor has made very clear what his policies are, and at this point we're asking for a jury to take a second look and assess our clients' claims that their constitutional rights are being violated over and over and over.
Irreparable harm.
City attorneys, however, argue that the residents knowingly trespassed on city property repeatedly, including cutting through locked fences to set up the Nenocasie encampments, which ultimately ended last winter with an explosion and fire.
Now back to the Sabri case. He wanted a dialogue with the city to get assurances that they're making long-term progress on housing and resources for the homeless. They had some of those talks after last week's court hearing. The city asked him to agree to a 90-day period where he would not open encampments so that those talks could continue. But then that's where it broke down. Sabri said he'd give them 30 days, and they said this isn't working. They just asked the judge to make this decision.
All right, now we wait on that. Any idea when that ruling's going to come down?
Well, he had indicated that it could be today, but instead that he was waiting for this this update from the city. So we expect it very soon this week.
All right, thank you, Lou.